Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I am going to show you how I tie my personal favorite Pompano rig. It's very simple. You got people out there trying to sell you every kind of Pompano rig imaginable. I do like float hooks. I have some success with those, but my go-to rig is this one right here. And I'm going to start with 20-pound Andy monofilament, pink. I've always used that. For whatever reason, that's what I use. 20-pound Andy monofilament in pink. And I like to take, let's see, a full arm's length of mono off the spool. So I stretch my arms out, and I have long arms. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to say, hang on. Let me cut this off. I'm going to say that this is probably at least 4 feet. Yeah, at least 4 feet of material. So monofilament. Now, in the middle of this monofilament, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to try and keep this close. I am going to do an overhand knot, but I'm going to go over 5 times. Again, I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Pull that tag end through. So 5 times. Now, how big this loop is very important. If you want a longer drop, then you're going to make this loop bigger. And you do that manually. I usually do this while I'm watching TV. So after I go through my loop 5 times, I wrap my line through 5 times, I'm going to have these 10 wraps on top of my loop. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go to the middle. And I'm just going to pull it apart. Like so. So now I have a hole in the middle of those loops. And I'm going to take the bottom of that circle that I created, pass it through the middle, and then with that. So that's my drop. That's my drop loop. And you can make this longer or shorter as you please. Okay, so now that I have my drop loop, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie on my fishing snap, and I believe this is a size 2, I think. Kind of standard. I like using these. They're easy to open and close when I put my pyramid weights on it. And I'm just going to use a standard fisherman's knot on here. So I'm going to make 5 or 6 turns, and then my line, my tag end's going through the bottom opening. And I don't improve it. I just pull on it real tight to make sure it's good to go. So that's my fishing snap. And then on the other end, I'm going to put my barrel swivel. Same knot. It's going to be a cinch knot or a fisherman's knot. Monofilament through the eyelet. I'm going to turn this, make about 5 turns. And this tag end is going to go right through that bottom loop I created at the top of the barrel swivel, and then wet it, pull it down tight. You can leave the tag on there if you want. I usually do. Chop it off with my teeth. Okay. Next, we're going to put on the jewelry, and I don't use a lot of jewelry. Small beads right here. Small beads. I also like to use some football-shaped beads occasionally, but for this instance, we're going to take kind of a fluoro red translucent bead and feed our drop loop through it, like so. And then I'm going to take a green translucent bead, and I'm going to feed that through as well. So now I have my 2 beads on my drop line. That's it. From there, we're going to go to our Eagle Claw 197 circle hook. You can use a 1/0 or a 2/0. I use whatever I have laying around. They both seem to work just fine. Okay, so now I have my circle hook, my Eagle Claw 197 circle. This is a 2/0 hook. And I like to run, I'll show you. Through the top of the eyelet, I run the hook through that loop, and then I make one full twist and pull it tight. And that, my friends, is my #1 Pompano setup right there. That's it. That is it. So I've got, I'm going to say probably 3.5 feet of line, and that's my drop. Just one green, one red bead to a 2/0 Eagle Claw circle hook. And again, a size 2 fishing snap on one end to attach to my weight, and then just a standard barrel swivel. That's it. That is the Forgotten Angler's favorite Pompano fishing rig. Single drop, red and green bead. I've got different colored red and green beads that I use, but they all seem to work just fine. And then from there, I'll put on a small piece of Fishbites. Usually early season, I like to use pink shrimp Fishbites. And then I might stick a sand flea on there or a ghost shrimp along with that. Even a crab knuckle if I can find them. So that's it, folks. Get out there, fish for pompano. Tie some of these up. Get back to me in the comments. Let me know how they work for you, because this is one heck of a setup. And it's easy to tie. Like, I'll sit and watch football and I'll just tie up a dozen of them. Put them in Ziploc bags, and that way I have them good to go. That's it. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, and I hope you catch more fish. Bang! Thanks for checking in with the Forgotten Angler. See you in the next video.